Bible never specifically addresses abortion by name, but it contains numerous teachings that clarify God's stance on the value of life, both born and unborn. The question of whether Christians should be pro-choice or pro-life has been debated for some time now, but Scripture consistently reveals that God values human life at all stages, making the pro-life position the most consistent with biblical teachings. From the earliest moments of existence, God views life as sacred. Jeremiah 1:5 tells us, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." This verse demonstrates that God's involvement in our lives begins even before conception, affirming the value he places on human life. Similarly, Psalm 139 verse 13-16 speaks of God's intimate role in our formation. "For you created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb." These verses convey that the unborn are not simply tissue or potential life, but individuals carefully crafted by God. One of the clearest biblical illustrations that reveal the sanctity of life in the womb comes from the story of Mary and Elizabeth in Luke 1. Mary, pregnant with Jesus, visits Elizabeth, who is 6 months pregnant with John the Baptist. Upon hearing Mary's greeting, the baby in Elizabeth's womb, John the Baptist, leapt for joy. Luke 1:41-44 shows that what was in Elizabeth's womb was not a blob of tissue or a mere fetus, but a baby, already filled with divine purpose. The Bible clearly calls the child a baby even before birth. This passage further affirms that what is in the womb is not a potential life. It is a real, living human being. Exodus 21 verse 22-25 also highlights this truth, prescribing the same punishment for someone who causes the death of an unborn child as for someone who commits murder. This law shows that God sees the life in the womb as equally valuable as the life of an adult. Despite these clear teachings, some argue that abortion is acceptable in cases of rape or incest. While these situations are undeniably tragic, Scripture teaches that the circumstances of conception do not determine the worth of a human being. Genesis 1:27 reminds us that all people, including those conceived in difficult circumstances, are made in the image of God. The life in the womb is innocent, and its value is intrinsic regardless of how it came to be. Even in rare cases where the mother's life is at risk, abortion should not be the first option. Many medical professionals affirm that direct abortion is never medically necessary to save a woman's life. Instead, early delivery or a C-section can often preserve both lives. God, the author of life, calls us to value and protect life, even in the most challenging situations. As Christians, we are called to defend the vulnerable, including the unborn. Abortion is not merely a personal choice, it is a moral issue involving the life of a human being created in God's image. Therefore, the best Bible argument against abortion is that life from conception is precious and worth defending.